let's reinitiate Vigilante mode.
What is up, homies? It has been forever. I have been so busy lately. It's just been crazy. So, I'm back and we have a lot of catching up to do. Basically, this weekend's affairs are going to be cut into two separate videos. So Kong Skull Island and Beauty and the Beast. Second video, I'm going to talk about Iron Fist and Power Rangers. So let's get started. We have a lot of work to do. Kong Skull Island is the most recent iteration of the King Kong franchise. It's directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts. I hope I'm saying that right, as we all know. Not very good with names. To sum it up, I actually had a pretty good time with this movie. I guess they did take it as seriously as they could for what it was, but I actually think I preferred this version of King Kong to the Peter Jackson one, which I didn't dislike, but I just felt like that film was too long. And it was just sort of drawn out, and I'm not sure that it kept me very invested. While that film had a lot of character development, which is something that this film sorely lacks, this movie was just a lot of fun. I mean, it was just sci-fi, cheesy, monsters, crazy imaginary circumstances, and I was pretty entertained for the whole time. One of those movies where I'm definitely kind of rolling my eyes at a lot of cheesy moments, and some things in the film I just didn't buy. But I was thoroughly entertained by it, and I would like to see where this franchise goes. Clearly, it's being combined with the Godzilla franchise, and they're creating this whole monster universe, so everybody has to do a shared universe these days. The action was great. I actually really enjoyed their portrayal of Kong. Sized him up in this version more so than the other version. I thought it worked here, and I liked that we got to see Kong's domain, and the whole film was set there. They didn't have him coming to New York, and perhaps that just could be another film. The dialogue is horrible, and I feel like a lot of that stuff is just so easily fixable. There's actually a line where Brie Larson says, "The world is better than this." Okay, Brie, okay. Well, I don't know, not the greatest, strongest script. It has a pretty good cast. Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson, Toby Kebbell. These are actors that I really do like. Let's start with Brie Larson. Serviceable in this. This is not a movie that she really had to act in, but what she had to do and what she was given to do, I think she did the best that she could. Few projects of hers that I'm really looking forward to. Tom Hiddleston, to be honest, I just didn't buy it in this movie. I didn't really feel like he had that sort of swagger of the kind of mercenary Han Solo-like character, and he's another actor I really like. I think he does a great job as Loki. I haven't really seen that much of his other work, but this movie I think actually kind of disproved the Bond sort of theory that a lot of people have, that he could be a James Bond. And I don't know, just if this was his audition, I don't think he gets the part. Didn't really have that sort of rough, tough kind of swag that I just think that kind of a character needs. Also, I was not really feeling the forced affection every time Brie Larson fell off of something. Are you alright? Are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? You right? Yeah. Just it was way too much, and I'm kind of getting sick of that in movies in general. Sam Jackson is great in everything, regardless of what he's in, so he was good in this movie. The CGI was really good, and it was just a movie that is a good popcorn movie that is not to be taken all that seriously. So I'm gonna give Kong Skull Island a B-. It has some rewatch value, I think, for the action. On to the next review, which is Beauty and the Beast. Make sure the next time you see somebody reading, heckle them and you make fun of them, because who reads books? I always found that kind of funny how Beauty and the Beast kind of opens up with her reading books, and everybody's just laying into her for being the one intelligent person in this town. Let's really think about that, folks. Beauty and the Beast is directed by Bill Condon, which I thought was a really good choice for this, because he's done several musicals in the past within his filmmaking career, such as Dreamgirls and Chicago. He was the right person to kind of bring this one to life, aside from Jon Favreau, who will be doing The Lion King, and I just want everybody to look back at my Jungle Book review, because somebody, a Vigilante guy you might know, he actually sort of prophesied this, so just letting you know. This movie was better than I expected. I'm not going to say that I was really excited to see this movie, to be honest. I really did like Beauty and the Beast as a kid, and matter of fact, I'm pretty sure this was the first movie that I actually saw in theaters. It was very nostalgic to be in the theater and hear the music, and I got chills, and I did enjoy the film. I think there's just other Disney movies that I really hit me and spoke to me, like The Lion King and Aladdin. This was, I think, a really well done sort of remake, reimagining of that property, and I really did actually enjoy what they added to the story. There's a little bit more backstory from the lead characters, obviously Beast and Belle, and you actually see a few sequences where not only music is added, but there's just more added to the narrative that gives you a little bit more buy-in, a little bit more stakes, and reason to care about these characters. I, of course, really loved what they did with a lot of the appliances in the house. I mean, Ewan McGregor, who plays the candlestick, and Ian McKellen, who plays the clock. I mean, they were fantastic. Two of my favorite actors, Ewan McGregor particularly. Sometimes forget that he is such a great singer. You know, they were fantastic, and I feel like Beauty and the Beast really hinges on the one number, Be Our Guest. And I gotta say, I was fully immersed in that sequence. I was really like just in it and just all this eye candy. It was quite spectacular. One of my main problems, I think, with this movie was the Beast, and I just felt like some of the special effects for the Beast, I feel like Disney can do better at this point. It's not to say it was bad, but there were moments and shots where I was just kind of taken out of it because I didn't really feel like they got some of the texture of the fur right and the movement of the mouth, and it was just little tiny things. I actually feel like they did a better job in Rogue One with Tarkin and Leia. Also the fabric of his like clothing, I don't know, there was just a couple of spots that just did not work for me. It's hard to fully translate something that goes from animation to a live action thing. So I am expecting all these moments to see, like even like shapes of people's bodies that don't quite come to fruition. And I guess it's just something that makes me still think about the other film as opposed to just locking myself into this one. So overall, I really liked the movie. I thought that Emma Watson gave a really good performance, as well as Dan Stevens as the Beast. He was actually quite funny. So I'm going to give this movie a pretty strong B+. I really did like it. Maybe I might purchase this when it's out available. I'm not 100% sure. Really mostly looking forward to The Lion King because I really liked The Jungle Book a lot. Okay, so that's part one. I'm really excited for Power Rangers. However, I know that the Rotten Tomatoes score is not super high, but I'm ready. You know, I got my Dragon Shield on. Please like, please share, please subscribe to the channel. We do have a lot of stuff coming out in the near future, so I'll catch you guys a little bit later.
Vigilante mode deactivated.